Okay, this video is all about how to creating or designing a poster, a scientific poster in CorelDraw. So I downloaded this from the website, from the engineering website, and this is the it's a CorelDraw file, and you notice this was made in CorelDraw. Now, how would I know it's a bit or it's a CorelDraw file, it's a vector file or not? I'll just go here to view and click on simple wireframe, and it's all wireframe, right? Means to say it's vector image. So I'm just gonna go to view and then enhance view again, going back to there. Okay. So now in the first thing you have to check is the size. So this one is 36 by 48, so this one is 36, and going down is 48. So it's a large poster. So keep always think that whatever you put in here is gonna print big. So you have to really be careful on the images that you put. It has to be high resolution, and also the text should be readable. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how would you know if what size of, say for example this one here, you're gonna change it to your own title. So what is the size of this? So if I click on the text here, it says it's 100 points, right? So I have a chart in my office, you know, the sizing of the fonts, and you will see that which one is 100 points or 90 fonts, 90 points, or what is the minimum size of font that you can see visible in or readable in your poster. Now another tip too is that when you're putting your text, you shouldn't use the artistic text. This one is the artistic text. If you just type in some random words here, that is the artistic text, right? I'm just gonna go in here. Okay. And then I'm gonna enlarge this one, right? The problem here is that it's not in a text box. So if your box here doesn't fit, then you have to go back here, hit delete, and then hit enter again, and then delete, and then hit enter again. You know what I mean? So you always have to start from a paragraph text. Now I'll give you a difference here. The difference is here. When you click on the text tool or F8, click and drag. So basically you're creating a text box. So that's the right way to do it. And I'll show you what are the advantages and disadvantages. Now here's one advantage in a paragraph text. So this one is already a paragraph text. And if you zoom in here, it says here, click here with text tool to add paragraph. So I'm already in my text tool here, and I go inside. And then what I did here, I copied some dummy text from the website, and I'll go Control V or just paste here. Okay, so now you notice that the text, because my default text is 12 points, so that's not gonna work in a poster like this, right? So I'm gonna make this right now. I'm gonna make it 35 points, and that this is fine, right? Now, one advantage of the paragraph text is that, for example, I want it to shrink down a bit. If you notice, it's wrapping around, right? And here, if I click this one and I go like this, it doesn't wrap around. You know what I mean? It just goes smaller. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete that. So there's this one advantage. Now, if this one shows up as red, so that means to say there are more text underneath. So that's kind of like a warning sign that there are some text underneath. So make sure to grab this handle and then go like this until, okay, that's still there, until you don't have the warning sign. Now don't worry about this dotted line or dash line here, because that won't show up in your actual poster. Now when you are now that's how you put the text. Now when you want to increase the size of the text, just click on the paragraph text and say, for example, here I want to make it 40. I'm just gonna type in 40, hit enter. Now it increased the size, but again you get a warning sign here. That means to say you have drag it down. That's very important, because if you think there are no text in there, you know, your text will be cut off. Okay, so now that's fine. Now I also seen some posters with boxes around. Okay, so here's how you do it. So now before I go there, I'm just gonna delete some of this text here. There's another option too. I'm just gonna delete that. Okay, delete that. And I'm gonna show you something here. Now, some would you like to have more spacing in between the lines here, lines between the the text here. So here's what you do. You go to your shape tool. So this is your shape tool. So you click on your shape tool, and then you'll see this one. This actually is spacing between the lines. So if I drag that there, notice that it's just an illusion that the size changes, but it doesn't change. The space in between the lines changes there. Okay, and then this one here, if I go to my shape tool again, and this one here, but don't worry about this one. This is more for for logos or stuff, because if I do this one here, okay, notice that it changes the spacing between the characters. I'm just gonna hit undo here, Control Z again to go back to my previous one. Okay, maybe I'll just increase the size of the line. Okay, so that's fine. Now I'm gonna do this. So when you're bothered with this text here, and then you want to see how it looks like, right, without that one, because sometimes you want to see, I'm just gonna bring it down like that. Okay, here's what you do. So you go to your text, and then go to no, not text, sorry, not text. So again, this is unedited, so I'm just gonna continue whatever I wanna do it. So go to options, and then you go to workspace, and then click on paragraph text. See this one here, show text frame. If I click on that one and then click OK, okay, and notice that the line doesn't show up. I mean, the dotted lines or dash lines won't show up. So basically, so that it would be cleaner looking. Okay, but there's also disadvantages here, because you don't know if it's cut off or not. Okay, compared to the one that you have dashed line. Anyway, so now I've seen some poster too that there is some. Oh, okay, so it shows the warning sign, so that's great. Okay, so I'm gonna go. So first you have to create a box like this, right? And then what I normally do, I move it over in the left side or right side away from the actual template, so that I can do things here freely, and then I won't touch any components here. So anyway, here, so you want to make these rounded corners. You can always go to the shape tool, so click on your shape tool, and then this tiny dot here, the 4 corners, you can actually click on that and then drag it to make it rounded corners, right? So now I've done that one. So what I'll do, I'll put it on the side here. I'll separate that for now. And then this one, you don't want this to leave it as 0.5 points, because remember, you're doing a 36 by 48 poster, and it's going to be really thin, right? So what you do is you increase the size of the thickness of the outline by going to this icon here, double click, and then here, currently it's 0.5 points. You can make it bigger. I'm just gonna see 3, and you can also change the color of that line. I'm just gonna go for like some kind of like teal like that. This is just an example, and click OK. Okay, so it's not quite thick yet, so I'm gonna go back here, double click, and then I'll make that probably 8 points and click OK. There, it's thicker now. So now I've seen some poster too with with the subheading here. That's really easy to do. So you click on your rectangular tool. I'm gonna make, it doesn't matter what size, as long as just focus yourself on this area here, because that area would be the background of your subtext. Now I made this one, And then what you do is you go to your Smart Fill tool. Okay, Smart Fill tool, and then you don't click here, because if you have to click inside here. Click, so see, that area would be the area that's gonna be filled with a color. And now you can delete this one, or you can put it on the side if you want. I'm just gonna delete that. Now the problem here is it doesn't match this one here, right? So what you can do, you can still change this one. You can, of course, you can always go here and change it, right? But what if I want it to be the same as this outline here? So what you do is you go to your Fill tool. Okay, and sorry, not that one. You can go here in the bottom left right corner, double click, and then you see the fill is yellow, right? You want to change it, and then you want to make it the same as this color. So you click on the eyedropper, color eyedropper, and then move it over to the blue one, and you'll notice that there's a small swatch there, and that one, and then click OK, and that's it. Now the problem here is that this one has an outline. That's very easy to fix. You click on that and then go back here, double click on this outline icon, and just click on none, or here none, and then click OK. Done. Right? So very nice. So you already have this one. Another thing to do too is you have to group it together, right? Because this right now is separate from this one. Control Z. So what you do is you group this together. Okay, so click and drag and select those two objects, and then you know there are two objects already here, this one and the border, and then you group it. So this is group, or you can go to objects, group objects, or Control G for a shortcut. There you go. Now the advantage of grouping things is that you can move things around without separating them, right? So now I have that already. So now what I have to do is to move this and put it inside, right? Now obviously I can, there, I can adjust the text, right? Now I've seen some posters too, like there are some subheadings here. I'm just gonna put here, say background or introduction. Okay, so I'm gonna type in my introduction text. So click here. I'm just gonna go caps lock introduction. Okay, and then I'm going to make it bigger. Okay, I have to remember the font size here, because then I'm gonna make it standard, right? So I'll just gonna make it 90. Type in 90 there, and I'm gonna make it bold. Now I'm gonna put this here. Okay. And now for this one, I think white would be better. I don't know if you notice it, if I'm gonna copy this one and put it here, and I'll make this white, and then you decide which one is more catchy. My opinion is this one, especially when your poster is printed, because this one, I know it stands out a little bit, but once you print this one won't stand out. Remember, because when you're looking at the monitor, you're looking at light, but when you're looking at the printing, it's just inks. So I would go for white text here. Okay, I'm just gonna delete that. And then now centering objects, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this first. I'm gonna move it there. And I'm gonna move this one over here. Okay, so this one, let's just say I want to center this one vertically. So I click the text introduction, and I hold down my shift tool, and I click on the box, right? And then what I can do, I can go to, or I can type in letter C, or if you don't want, you can go to objects. You can go to align and distribute, and then what normally I do is that I go to where is it, align and distribute. I just click on this one, and then so that you could see more options here. So I would go this one, right, because that's align center horizontally there. So now you are confident that this one is aligned to there. Okay, let's get another example here. Okay, so the sequence of selecting the objects is also important. So if your basis of centering is this box here, you select that last. Okay, so I click this one first and then click this one, and I'm just gonna make this off-centered. Okay, off-centered like that. Okay, click, hold down shift, click on the second object and then the third object, and the last object, like I said, would be the basis of your centering or alignment. So I'm still holding down shift and I click on the last one, which is this one here, and I type in letter C. That's the shortcut key, or you can click on this one for align, and everything aligned, right? Now if you go for, I'm gonna make that black for now. So align, that was alignment horizontal. Now if you wanna hold click, and the last one would be here. If you want to click that vertically, align center vertically, it's this one here. Okay, so you notice it aligned to this, to the vertical center. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one now. Click on this one and then see. Okay, I'm gonna put this back here. Okay, now I'm ready to put this inside my box here. So that's how you do it. And now some of you would like to have a like a watermark here. I'm just gonna put a watermark here. I'm gonna go to the web first and get something. Okay, so I'm back. So I got this picture from the web, and if you really zoom in, it's high resolution. So you really have to be careful in what photos are you selecting for your watermark, because that is very important. Because like I said, this is 36 inches by 48 inches. Now this is a good example of high resolution. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, say I want to make this as a back, like a watermark here, right? Now first of all, let's just say I want to crop this. I don't want it to have this, you know, this part of the hand. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this down here for now. Make it a habit when you're editing something, your images, just stay away from the template. You can put that back later. So you click on it and then you go to your crop tool. So you click on crop tool, and the crop tool, here's how it works. So I'm just gonna make that one. Okay, this one is the part that's gonna remain, that's gonna stay, and this dark part here will disappear. But in CorelDraw, which is a good thing here, the feature is that you can adjust it. Say for example, I want to go there and I want to go that side and then go down. Okay, and then you hit enter. So hitting enter is saying that that's what I want, that cropping is what I wanted. So I'm gonna hit enter, and there you go. Okay, well, when the only thing is, like, when you decide to crop it, that's it. You can't go back and, you know, and get the other part of the hand here. So here's another tip. A tip is when you're cropping an object, duplicate this one and then put it on the side here, on the side, so that you won't, if say for example you want to crop it again, you can always go back to the duplicated one. So now how do you duplicate? Control D is duplicate. Oh, you have to select it first. Okay, or you can, what you can do, click on that and then click on objects, and then maybe not object, yeah, it's edit, and then you go duplicate, or yeah, duplicate, not clone, it has to be duplicate. Now this one shows up, just click OK, and then now you've got a duplicate. Now with this one, then you can crop this with no problems, because if you had a mistake in cropping, you can always go to the duplicated one. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this here. Now what's my problem here? The problem here is it's in front of all the objects of the template. Now here's what you do. You click on this, right? And then you go to objects. There are a lot of shortcuts, but what I'll do now, since you're a beginner in CorelDraw, I'm just gonna use all of this menu here. So you click objects, right? So you click that, click objects, and you click on order. So now in order you have, see, these are the shortcuts, like Control plus Home, Control End, Shift page up. But then this is the text that describes the icon, and then there's an icon, of course. So I'm gonna make it, okay, again, click that, and then go to objects, and then order. And I want to say go back of the page, the very back of the page, right? Because it's gonna be a watermark. So click back of the page. See that one? Now this one in our template, now what I'll do, I'm gonna resize this to fill up that thing, right? Now, do you see this frosted shapes here? That's included in the template, right? Which kind of looks nice, but say I want to remove that. I notice when I open the file, there are some objects that are locked. So you click on object and go to lock, and then unlock all objects. Okay, because sometimes the person who created the template wanted to, to lock some images so that you won't mess up with the image. So I got that one unlocked already, so I can delete that, and this one I can delete that, and this one I can delete. Okay, and this one I'm just gonna leave because that looks nice. This one here, you know what, I'll just delete that. Oh, wrong, delete it. I'm just gonna delete that for now. Okay, I think that's the one. Okay, it's live, so that's why there. Okay, now there are, again, I'm gonna duplicate this. Okay, duplicate it so that you can see the difference. Now let's go to watermark. So watermark, you can click on it, right? And then you can go to transparency tool. Click on transparency tool, and then here when you click on transparency tool, you click on the first one, which is uniform transparency. When you click on uniform transparency, it gives you like 50% transparency, right? But then what you can do, you can click on this slider, and then you can increase the transparency, and that will of course decrease the opacity. So for example, 70 is fine, so I'm good with that, and then you're done, right? So very important, because if I put this one here, and obviously I have to put that on to the front, right? So I'm gonna click on order just to make sure it's to the front. I click on order to front of page. Okay, definitely that's it. Now it depends upon the placement of your text. See, if here it's not too bad, but when you are in the background is busy like this one, you can't really see it, right? So there are options. There are two options here. You click on your the watermarked image. You go back to your transparency, and then you can increase the transparency. Okay, increasing the transparency. So say that one is good, right? And I would say that is fine. Now there's another option too. I'm gonna put that back to the, it's gonna undo. I'm gonna redo. Another option here too is that I can put a box behind this one and then make it transparent, right? So what I do, I'm gonna move this one here. What I'll do, I'll move it like that so that I can see. And then what I'll do, I'm going to ungroup all. This is ungroup all objects, and I'm gonna go to this one here. Okay, I can color it, I don't know, maybe I can color it white. Of course you can't see it, but if I go to objects and order to back, okay, and then I'll put this to front again, to front of page. See, if I put it here, now it's fine, right? But if you want to see, that's white. If you want that to stand out, right, you have to add transparency on that one. You can go here and then go transparency again, but then you can change the transparency. You know what I mean? So that's another way to do it. Like you can still see a little bit here and also a little bit there. It's your judgment, but that's what I'm gonna group this again. Okay, now for this one here, that is the first watermark style. Now another watermark style is I'm gonna use transparent gradients. Okay, so click on the image and then you go here and then you choose the next one, not this one because that's uniform. This one, linear font level transparency. You notice that one? So it's transparent here, but it goes here, it makes it opaque. So what you can do, you can bring this up here and then bring it down. Now it's really up to you where you want this to be. And then this is a slider to, I think I like this one because it shows a little bit here, and then the gradation is not only that, this one here, the line here is gone, and then you can put this on top of that. Okay, so that's it. That's transparency. Okay, so now what else do you want to learn? Okay, so maybe some techniques here. So another technique too for your alignment. So you see this one, it's grids, right? So you can drag it. So you click here and then drag, so that then you can see the alignment. Guideline. And if you want to move the guideline, you can always go like this, right? You can add whatever alignment you want. Depends upon what are you aligning, right? You can also do it vertical alignment. Okay, I've seen some people do this, you know, especially if they want it very symmetrical or something like that. They can just like put it here and then align it to there, right? And then probably just align this one, and then another one would start here. I'm just gonna duplicate this to save some time. You go like this, right? So that's how you align things, and then the guidelines obviously won't be printed. Okay, so I've showed you the basic already. Yeah, another basic thing too. So I'm just gonna duplicate this one and then move it here. I don't want to see the guidelines, so I'm gonna delete this one. Say for example you want to make a circle here, like an image which is a circle. Here's what you do. I like power clip. So you click on your ellipse, create a circle. So creating a circle is holding down your control button and then drag. Okay, that's how you do a perfect circle. And then what you do, you have to make it, okay, you can move this circle around, but see, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so click on the image first, and then you go to objects and then go to power clip. I really love power clip. So power clip and then place inside the frame, and then the frame would be the circle. So you click on the circle, there you go, right? Now you see this one here, if you mouse over you can see edit power clip, select power clip contents. I'll be more concerned on the edit one, because the edit is when you click on edit, then you go back to the image, and then you can actually slide this in here. Say for example you want to change the placement of the circle, and then mouse over here again and just click on finish editing power clip. That's it. That's an amazing tool. Now if you want to have an outline, that's fine, because it gives you a default outline. If you want to make it thicker, you can go here, say 4, and I can make it, I'll just make it red for now, and then click OK, and you notice there's an outline. And of course you can make that bigger. I'll go 8 points maybe, or 10 points there. Okay, then you can bring this down to your poster. Now I've seen some, this is still editable, right? Because it's a power clip. I can click on edit. I'll just move this over here. I like the previous one, and then mouse over, finish there. Now some of you will want to have like a line here, you know, like indicating, and I put some text here. Here's what I'm gonna do. So go to your Bezier tool, click on Bezier. Bezier is making lines, you know, that's Bezier. Okay, I'm gonna hit undo here. Okay, so Bezier, click on that one. Say for example, I'm gonna start here, next one, and then next one. Okay, now the Bezier is a line, right? But then I can change the thickness of the line by going here, double click, and then I'm gonna make it like 8 points to match it, and then probably the color, I click on the color here, probably I don't know, maybe blue again, and click OK. Okay, you know what, I'll just make it black. Sorry, make it red, maybe orange, maybe just orange here. So I made it thicker, but then in here you got some option, right? This is the starting of your arrowhead. So what if you want to make it that one, right? And then you can, this is the end of the arrowhead. Some of you will wanted to have just like a circle like this one here, right? If you want to make it smaller, you can choose, I saw one smaller one, this one there, right? And then you can put your text here. I'm gonna put some Control D. You know what I mean? I've seen some people doing this. I'm just gonna put their 20 points there, and since it's a paragraph text, I can do it this way. Shrink it down like that. Okay, maybe delete some text. Okay, so that's one of the technique too. Now the technique, if you want to have multiple, instead of making a Bezier again from scratch, you just like duplicate this. Okay, click on that, and then you go to objects, no, not objects, edit, and then go duplicate, and you got 2 there, and then bring it down here. Now here's a tip. But what if you wanted a different direction of the Bezier, right? Very easy. You go to your shape tool, and when you click on shape tool, you have these nodes here. You can just drop it down like that. See, you can reshape it, or say like that, and then you put your texts here. Very powerful, right? There. That's it. What else? I think that's it for now. I can't find the... Now I can show you some drop shadows, but you really have to be careful when you're using drop shadows. So for example here, I'm just gonna delete that. You want to put drop shadows here. You just click on this drop shadow, and then in the center you click and drag. This would just like bring your objects, you know, it would more pop. See that one? You won't see it until you zoom out, but use it very carefully. Make sure that it would look nice in your design. Okay, and of course you can always change some settings here of the drop shadow, say this one. But like I said, be careful when applying those effects. Okay, keep it simple. Okay, now not too many colors. Okay, what would you do to make one poster looks like it has a lot of colors but it doesn't? I said it's in one of my lecture, but here's what you're gonna do. You use 2 colors only. Say this color. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this. Okay, first it's this color, right? So I'm gonna grab this. Here's another technique too. You click on the color eyedropper tool, and you're just gonna sample that color and then pour that in here. Okay, and then go back here again. I'm gonna sample this color and then pour. Right now, what you can do is duplicate this, Control D, okay, and Control C to align, Control C. Now you click on the, I'm gonna remove all the outline, the black outline. I'm just gonna click on, not that one, but none. Click OK. If I want this small, lighter, I'm gonna go here, okay? But hold down your control key, and then click 3, 4, 5. As I say 5. And click this one, and hold down your control key and click on the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And then this one, do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. The reason why I'm showing you this one, because this one can be your color scheme for your stuff here. And it's like an illusion that it has many colors, but it's not. You only use 2 colors. Leave it here on the template, like outside of the template, so that what you can do, so for example, you have some, let's just say an example, just an example, you've got some graphics there. Okay, you can choose, say, this one for that, and then this one for this one, and then this one for this one, and so you have one more here. Yeah, I go back to my color dropper. Oh, I already didn't done that. This one. Okay. So basically, you just use these colors here, of course, except for this red, but we can always change that. I'm gonna go for, say, this one here, and then I'm gonna cut that one there. So I'm just saying that these are the colors that you're gonna use here. So it's less color combination, but it looks like it's used of, you're using a lot of colors. I think that's it for now, and I've given you some tips there, or maybe the gradient fill. The gradient fill is also what I see some people using it too. So the gradient fill is, for example, here I'm gonna make shape tool first, and I go like this, and then what I'll do is I'm gonna make a gradient fill. So the gradient fill is interactive gradient. So it's this one here. So you click that, and then click and drag going up, and then you notice that that's a gradient fill, and then you can control the gradient fill by moving that, or you can even move this one down. So that's also one of the style, so that for example, you want to, I'm just gonna duplicate this. Okay, I'm gonna control plus sign. Say for example, I'm gonna put that to front, object order to front of page. You know what I mean? So something like this. I've seen some poster, they do this to their text too. Move that to front, order to front of page. Yeah, and then this one you can quickly fix this by moving it there and moving it there. And then what you do, go to the shape tool and then adjust this one until you get the right one. Yeah, I've seen some like this, and then put that here. Object to front of page, order to front of page, and yeah, I've seen that one. And then you can also put that inside the. So it's really up to your creativity, what you want, or sometimes it's up to your taste too. I've seen that. Okay, so it's exactly 40 minutes, and I'm gonna end this tutorial, and I hope you learned a lot from my unedited video. Thank you.